So welcome to Digital Communication Theory. Today I am going to explain you about frequency hops spectrum modulation techniques. So here we are going to discuss about two different types of frequency hop spectrum techniques. One is slow frequency hopping and one more is fast frequency hopping. In general, how the hopping or jumping frequency occurs we'll see, and we'll see according to the pseudo noise sequence how to allot the channels. That one we are going to see it in both the slow frequency hopping spectrum and fast frequency hopping spectrum. Frequency hopping or jumping, it means to transmit the data bits in different frequency slots. So in different frequency slots, how to transmit the data bits from different channels. The total bandwidth of the output signal, it is equal to sum of all these frequency slots or hops. So the sum of means the total bandwidth. How we will consider the bandwidth is, we will consider the minimum hopping frequency and maximum hopping frequency. By considering the minimum hopping frequency and the maximum hopping frequency, we are going to estimate the total bandwidth of the output signal, which is equal to the sum of all these frequency slots or hops. Since the frequency hopping is random, so it is not completely random, it is pseudo random in nature, which is known only to the transmitter and recognized receiver. Unwanted receivers has to cover the complete output bandwidth. But when you have transmitted the information or data using spectrum modulation techniques, it becomes very difficult to cover entire bandwidth. So it is not possible to jam the signal which is transmitted using spectrum modulation. This bandwidth, which is in gigahertz, and hence unwanted receiver find it very difficult to receive the frequency hop signal. The bandwidth, whatever the output bandwidth you are going to measure, so which is sum of the all the frequency hop, so that will be in the gigahertz frequency. And unwanted receiver, for unwanted receiver it becomes very difficult to receive the frequency hop signal. The frequency hopping spectrum communication, in frequency hopping spectrum communication, the binary data sequence modulates the frequency of the carrier signal, resulting in an FSK signal. We have already discussed this in the block diagram, how to generate the frequency hopping spectrum signal. So it contains the group of k binary bits at the transmitter, and a set of 2 power k subcarrier frequencies are chosen to generate multi-level FSK. We also call it as M-array FSK signal. This one we have discussed with the block diagram. So this type of spectrum, in which the carrier hops or jumps randomly from one frequency to the another frequency, we call it as frequency hopping spectrum. Types of frequency hopping. Frequency hopping can be divided or classified into two different hopping frequency depending on the hopping rate, where the carrier frequency hops from one value to the other value. So first one is slow frequency hopping. In slow frequency hopping, you must remember one frequency hop will be used to transmit several symbols. You need to remember this one. So next one is fast frequency hopping. Here hopping frequency is greater than the symbol rate. So several frequency hops is required to transmit one symbol. You need to remember this one. That is why we call it as fast frequency hopping. Here several frequency hop will be used to transmit one symbol, but in the case of slow frequency hopping, only we are using one frequency hop to transmit several symbols. So most efficient is fast frequency hopping when compared to the slow frequency hopping. The fast frequency hopping, it gives high immunity to the interference when compared to the slow frequency hopping, because here we are using more number of frequency hop to transmit one symbol. So normally k successive bits of input data sequence represent 2 power k is equal to m symbols. If k is equal to 2, then it will be m symbols. M is, it becomes 4, so 4 symbols. Those distinct m symbols are transmitted with the help of m array FSK modulation system. So we can see that m array modulation system, that one we will see later. Then we must understand what is hop rate and what is symbol rate. The spread spectrum carrier frequency hops randomly from one frequency to the another frequency, we already know. There the hop rate is nothing but the rate of change of frequency hops. The rate of change of frequency hop, we call it as hop rate. How fast the hopping or jumping of frequency occurs from one frequency to another, one frequency slot to the another frequency slot, we call it as hop rate. Symbol rate means the rate at which k bit symbols of data input sequence are generated, we call it as symbol rate. One symbol it may contain 1 bit, or one symbol it may contain more than 1 bit. So how to allocate, how to transmit the data bits in each frequency slot, we will see next. Before that, we will admit some students. So next we'll look at the frequency hopping transmitter diagram. In frequency hopping transmitter diagram, we can see it has several blocks. So first one is serial to parallel converter. Second one is PAM to generate MRA PAM signal, and third one is VCO. VCO, it can generate a different frequency. So we call it as voltage controlled oscillator. So depending on the input amplitude levels, it can generate a frequency. If the amplitude of the input signal to the VCO is less, then it generates a low frequency. If it is high, then it generates high frequency. The incoming binary sequence is applied to a serial to parallel converter. We will apply input binary sequence to generate blocks of k bits. If k is equal to 4, each block it contains 4 bits. This serial to parallel converter, what it does, a stream of data, input binary data, which will be given as input to your serial to parallel converter, and it generates some blocks of k bits. If k is equal to 4, so each block contains 4 bits. Depending on k bit binary pattern, any one of the 2 power k discrete amplitude levels of MRA PAM signal can be applied. If k is equal to 1000, then the amplitude level of this will be considered as 8. 1000. It will be considered as 8. If the k bits contains 0001, then its amplitude level it will be considered as 1. The PAM signal, it generates depending on the input binary values, it generates a pulse with discrete amplitude levels. So MRA PAM signal is applied to a voltage controlled oscillator which produces one of the 2 power k discrete frequencies. So what it does is, so depending on the k bits, it generates, if k is equal to 4, then 2 power 4 different numbers of frequencies it can be generated. So 16 different frequencies can be generated if k is equal to 4, depending on the PAM signal, that the pulse amplitude level, it generates the frequency. So we call it this S of t as an MFSK wave. The above mentioned sequence of operation is represented by one block called MFSK modulator. So this block we call it as MFSK modulator. Whatever I discussed, this one, the 3 blocks which is included in this MFSK modulator, it generates a S of t. So we call it as MFSK signal. The output of the MFSK modulator is mixed with the output of a frequency synthesizer. So we call it as this is a frequency synthesizer. So one of the input to your mixer is from the frequency synthesizer, and one more is MFSK signal. So it will be mixed in the mixer, frequency mixer, and will be given as input to your band pass filter. The function of the band pass filter is to pass the some frequency component and eliminate the difference frequency component. So we call it as up conversion. So here, if you look at this block diagram, so this is the transmitter diagram or frequency hopping transmitter, and we also call it as MRI FSK transmitter. So this can be used to generate frequency hopping signal. So here a binary input data will be given as input or MFSK modulator. This MFSK modulator, so it has a serial to parallel converter. Then after converting into a parallel data, that will be given as input to your PAM. Then the PAM output will be given as VCO. So VCO output, it generates FJ signal. We call it as MFSK signal. So we can represent it as S of T. So that can be given as input to your up converter mixer. So another input from the frequency slider, depending on the pseudo noise code generation for k bit, or in general we'll represent it as t bits. So here for MFSK modulator, we have denoted it as k bit. Here we'll change some notation. Instead of k, we will take t bits. Depending on the t bits of PN sequence, the frequency synthesizer, it can generate 2 power t distinct values. So it generates carrier frequency hops over 2 power k distinct values, and that can be denoted as FCI. And this MFSK modulator, depending on the values, if k is equal to 4, in block 1, if it is 1001, the corresponding amplitude pulse will be generated using a PAM. And in block 2, if it is 100, so which is 8, so corresponding pulse with amplitude level will be present using a PAM. So it generates a frequency hopped signal, which is FCI plus FJ. This is MFSK FJ plus FCI. We call it as frequency hop signal. Then if you look at the receiver of frequency hopping or MFSK signal, the received signal, which is FCI plus FJ, will be given as input to your down converter. So one more input to the down converter from the frequency synthesizer. Here we are generating locally a pseudo noise code generator. Whatever the sequence it is going to generate, that sequence it should match with the transmitted sequence, pseudo noise sequence. So when this signal will be given as input to your down conversion, so band pass filter, what it does, it allows the different frequency components and eliminates the some frequency components. And here this is FCI, here FCI plus FJ. So FCI and FC hopping frequency signal will be eliminated, and it passes FJ, which is MFSK signal, frequency signal it generates, and will be given as input to your MFSK detector. We call it as non-coherent MFSK detector. It has a set of frequency list, or we can say a frequency table, which frequency it will be matched with the FJ. So that will be passed to the output. It has bank of M matched filter, each of which modulated to one of the M is equal to 2 power k MFSK tones. If k is equal to 2, so number of MFSK tones, it will be 2 power 2, which is equal to 4 different tones is present. When this FJ is one of them, so that produces the estimate of binary data, which one you have transmitted. So we have discussed that how to generate frequency hopping signal and how to recover the original data, which one we have transmitted using frequency hopping transmitter. So we have already discussed this one, and this is done. Next, why we need to choose non-coherent detection? Since frequency synthesizer are incapable of maintaining phase coherence over successive hops, hence non-coherent MFSK detection is employed. Here we have used the non-coherent MFSK detection But the synthesizer frequency in transmitter and receiver are exactly same, but they are not in phase. Both that whatever frequency we are generating, both it should be exactly same. The local pseudo noise sequence at receiver operates, it should operate synchronously with respect to the transmitter. Next, we will discuss about a slow frequency hopping. So, what is slow frequency hopping? We have already discussed. Slow frequency hopping means here we are using only one frequency hop signal to transmit several symbols. That is why we call it as slow frequency hopping. So one frequency hop can be used to transmit several symbols. When several symbols of data are transmitted in one frequency hop, or we call it as in one slot, then it is called slow frequency hopping. This means symbol rate here is higher than the hop rate. So more symbols can be transmitted using one frequency hop. So we can say symbol rate is higher when compared to hop rate. So that is why we call it as slow frequency hopping. Next, what is chip rate for slow frequency hopping? So here chip rate which is equal to symbol rate. So we can denote RC is equal to RS. In frequency hopping or MFSK, the individual frequency of smallest duration, we call it as chip. In slow frequency hopping, multiple symbols are transmitted per hop. Within the single hop, every symbol will have independent frequency. Therefore, this frequency is chip for slow frequency hopping. This symbol rate, why that RC is equal to RS means, if number of bits which one we are going to transmit in one slot, if it is 2 bits, then for each bit one frequency will be there. So for 2 bits, 2 different frequencies. Those 2 frequencies are independent to each other. So we can say, we can conclude that this chip rate which is equal to symbol rate. Suppose each symbol, if it has 4 bits, that 4 bits it has 4 different individual frequencies. So that is why we call it as the chip rate which is equal to symbol rate, which is equal to RB by K. RB is nothing but the input bit rate and K is nothing but the number of bits per symbol. The K is nothing but number of bits per symbol. So each symbol contains how many bits of information. Next, processing gain. Processing gain, we have already understood the processing gain which is equal to the bandwidth of spreaded signal. It is the ratio of bandwidth of spreaded signal to the bandwidth of unspreaded signal. So bandwidth of spreaded signal means bandwidth of the frequency hopped signal to the bandwidth of the baseband signal. Bandwidth of the frequency of signal we can denote it as 2 power t into Fs. Fs is nothing but the bandwidth of the baseband signal. So it should be divided by bandwidth of the unspreaded signal or baseband signal, which can be denoted as Fs. So Fs and Fs, it will get cancelled here. So we will get 2 power t. We will get 2 power t. That is the processing gain. So here t is nothing but t bits of pseudo noise sequence can be used to generate 2 power t frequency hops using frequency synthesizer. Next, this is one example of slow frequency hopping. So you must understand this one properly. So definitely they will ask one problem related either related to slow frequency hopping or fast frequency hopping. You must understand this, how to allot the frequencies with respect to the slots. So here we can see FC0 to FC7. So there are 8 different frequency hopping signals is there, FC0 to FC7. So message data stream, you just look at the message data stream. So it has each symbol. So here 2 symbols are there. 2 symbols is nothing but 2 chips here. 2 symbols. So one symbol contains 1 bit. Here one symbol contains 1 bit. So here 2 symbols contains 2 chips. That is why we call it as symbol rate is equal to chip rate. RS is equal to RC. So FSK frequency. So FSK frequency, For 0, we'll denote it as F2, a lowest frequency. And for 1 to transmit 1, we'll consider the highest frequency where F1 is greater than F2. So we'll see how to allocate these frequencies. Further, we'll see this one. Next, pseudo noise sequence. So pseudo noise sequence, we are going to generate initially 001 is generated. Next triple one is generated. Next 011 is generated. Next 001. Next 101. So 3-bit pseudo noise sequence we are going to generate it. So for 3-bit pseudo noise sequence, what are the different frequency hop signal we can generate? 2 power 3, which is equal to 8. So we have allotted the total bandwidth. In the total bandwidth we have allotted 8 different frequency hop signal, so which varies from fc0 to fc7. So allocation we will see later. First we need to understand this one. This is very important. Next, hopping frequency. So because it is 001, we'll denote it as hopping frequency is fc1. So the next PN sequence is which is 111. So we'll denote it as the hopping frequency FC7. Next one is 011, means it is 3. So we'll denote it as FC3. So 001 again FC1, and 101 for this pseudo noise sequence. The corresponding hopping frequency is FC5. So next, the k can be calculated by using k is equal to log base 2m. So we will understand what is m first. So to understand that one first, we'll understand number of bits per MFSK symbol. So per MFSK symbol means here in one symbol 1 bit is there. So k is equal to 1. You must understand one symbol contains 1 bit. So number of bits per MFSK symbol, which is k is equal to 1. Then the number of MFSK tones. So what are the different tones for 1 bit in one symbol? M is equal to 2 power k, which is equal to 2. So number of MFSK tones is 2. It may be either 0 or 1. So 0 can be transmitted with one frequency, that is f2, and 1 can be transmitted with another frequency f1. So number of frequency or number of MFSK tones here, 2 tones. One is f1 and one more is f2. Next, length of pseudo noise sequence per hop. So here instead of k, we'll denote it as t. T is equal to 3. 3 bits of pseudo noise sequence we have used here. So total number of frequency hops, which is equal to 2 power 3, which is equal to 8. So number of hopping frequency 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different frequencies. So then the total, then the number of frequency clustered around FCI is equal to the number of symbols per hop with a maximum frequency of FC7 plus F1. The total bandwidth can be considered with respect to the maximum frequency, which is FC7 plus 1, and minimum frequency, which is FC1 plus F2. So that decides the bandwidth, that output bandwidth using which we are going to transmit it. So here we need to understand F1 is greater than F2. Next, we'll look at how to allocate the hopping frequency here. So for 0, corresponding to this 0 can be transmitted using MFSK tone F2, where F1 is greater than F2, and corresponding pseudo noise sequence is 001. So the corresponding to this pseudo noise hopping frequency FC1, FC1 plus F2. So we'll allocate first FC1 plus FT during this time period. So we call this time period, we call it as dwell time. Dwell time, we call it as dwell time. So FC1 plus F2. Next, we are using the same hopping frequency, which is FC1. Next, one more symbol using the same hopping frequency, we are transmitting symbol 1. So which is taking fc1 plus f1. Here what you have understood, using one frequency hopping, you have transmitted several symbols. You have transmitted two symbols, you have transmitted using one frequency hop signal. So similar to that, next you check, next we need to transmit a bit 1. To transmit bit 1, we need f1, and pseudo noise sequence is 111. So corresponding hopping frequency is fc7, so it becomes fc7 plus f1. So it becomes fc7 plus f1. So why we have allotted this fc7 plus f1 upward? Because fc7 plus f1 frequency, it is greater than fc7 plus f2. fc7 plus f1 frequency, it is greater compared to fc7 plus f2. So next fc7 plus f2 to transmit a symbol 0 we allotted. Next one is fc3 plus f1. So fc3, this is fc3 plus f1. So upward we have to allocate it. Next below that downward is there. So but next of fc3 plus f1. fc3 plus f1. Here it is taking the same slot, fc3 plus f1 for both the symbols. You can continue this one, fc3 plus f1 and fc3 plus f1 for another dwell time. So next fc1 plus f2 you allot it. Next fc1 plus f1 you need to allot it, this frequency slot. Next one is fc5 plus f1 and fc5 plus f2. Here fc5 plus f1, which is greater than fc5 plus f2. You need to understand this one. All of you have understood this? All of you have understood? Shall I continue? All of you have understood this? How to allocate the frequency slots?
Sir, repeat once again, sir.
Okay, I will. So this is one example of slow frequency hopping. So you need to interact with me. Otherwise, how I will understand? You have understood this one. So here we have understood in slow frequency hopping, hopping rate which is equal to symbol rate. Why hopping rate is equal to symbol rate? Here are two symbols. One symbol contains suppose 1 bit. So two symbols contains so 2 bits, right? For one symbol, one frequency we are using. So here f2 is independent of f1. So for two symbol transmission, two different frequencies we are using. That is why we call it as chip rate, which is equal to symbol rate. Next, what we are using, the length of the pseudo noise segment per hop. Here k is equal to k or t is equal to 3. So t is equal to 3 means we are generating the pseudo noise sequence. So each pseudo noise sequence, it has 3 bits length. So 001, it may be next sequence 111 it is generating, next 011 it is generating 001 and 101. So these 3 bits, whatever the pseudo noise sequence it is generated, corresponding to that, we can write or mention the hopping frequency. If it is 1, then we can denote the hopping frequency as fc1. If it is 111, we can denote it as fc7. So fc7, it is greater than fc1, fc3, fc5. You must understand this one. Next 011 means fc3. Next 001 means fc1 and 101 means fc5. Here how you are going to allocate this? So one is the bandwidth you need to allocate like with all the different frequency hopping signal fc0, fc1, fc2, fc3, fc4, fc5, fc6, fc7. So these fc0, fc1 and up to fc7, So it can be generated using the frequency synthesizer, depending on the number of bits to the of the pseudo noise sequence. If the pseudo noise sequence it is generating 3 bits, you can generate 2 power 3, which is equal to 8 different frequencies using frequency synthesizer. So which can be denoted as FC0 to FC7. Understood? Next, how do you allocate the frequency in each slots? So here FC1 plus F2. FC1 plus F2 you need to allocate.
Sir, how is
Next,
the pin sequence derived, sir?
uh-huh.
How is that pin sequence derived here? 001, 111, and like that.
So this can be generated using pseudo noise sequence generator. This sequence can be generated. So they are telling each pseudo noise sequence, which is length of the pseudo noise sequence, they are telling 3 bits. Understood? 3 bits pseudo noise sequence, each pseudo noise sequence. Then it can generate.
Sir, how will we know it is 001 or 111 or 011 or
That one
101?
we have solved one problem. You know how to generate the pseudo noise sequence generator using shift register and combinational logic. You know that one? How to generate the
Yes,
pseudo
sir,
noise
little bit.
sequence, right? You understood? There we were
Yeah,
generating
the circuit.
7 bits.
Okay, sir, we have to remember for each pseudo noise sequence that
No,
what
no,
will
they
be
will
there.
give. Don't worry about that. They will give.
So they'll give the circuit and we have to generate the
And
pseudo
they
noise for
will
every
give the
machine.
pseudo noise sequence. They will give this sequence. They will give you. Don't worry. And they will inform that each pseudo noise sequence, which is 3 bits. We'll solve one problem. Then you will understand how the question it will appear. Right? So each pseudo noise sequence which generates 3 bits. You need to remember they have mentioned here. So length of the pseudo noise segment per hop, which is equal to 3. So first it is generating 001. For next 111 it is generating next 011, 001, 101. So but whatever the problem we have solved, that periodic sequence we have solved. But pseudo noise sequence it generates depending on the input binary sequence, right? It generates the different pseudo noise sequence. So first it is generating 001. For the next random sequence, it generates 111. So next random generation, it generates 011. So next random sequence is 001. Next one is 101. Understood? This one will denote it as FC1 and FC7. So here we are having two different FSK frequency. We call it as MFSK tones. One is F1 and one more is F2. F1 is greater than F2. So FC1 plus F2, it is less than FC1 plus F1. So between FC1 to FC2, because FC1 plus F2 is less than FC1 plus F1, you have to allocate below FC1 plus F1. Below this FC1 plus F1, you have to allocate FC1 plus F2. Next, FC1 plus F1, which is higher than the FC1 plus F2. Next slot, you have to allocate this. Understood this one? For each symbol, that independent frequencies we got. One is FC1 plus F2 and one more frequency is FC1 plus F1. All of you got this allocation? All of you understood?
Yes, sir.
Then further, for FC7, you just look at here for FC7 plus F1, FC7 plus F2. You just look at the slots, different frequency slot. So here FC7 plus F1, which is greater than FC7 plus F2. Similarly, next sequence is FC3. So FC3 together we are using here FC3 plus F1 because this FC3 plus F1, because two consecutive ones are present here, two consecutive ones. When two consecutive ones are present, it takes the same slot, subsequent slots will be allocated in the same frequency slot. It continues. So FC3 plus F1 for one dwell time. So another next dwell time also, it continues FC3 plus F1. So next slot, it has different symbol. So next symbol is 0 and 1. So 0 is nothing but low frequency F2. 1 is nothing but high frequency F1. So two different MFSK tones, using those two MFSK tones, we can represent 0 and 1. So corresponding hopping frequency is FC1. So FC1 plus F2, we have to allocate this bandwidth. Next, FC1 plus F1. So similarly, FC5 plus F1 and FC5 plus F2. Understood this one? All of you? If you understood, then just look at this problem. You can take a pen and paper, and you can allot the frequency hopping frequency at different slots. You can do that. So the sequence is given. As you are having doubts, so what about the sequence, whether we will take it random? The sequence they will give it. No need to worry about the sequence, pseudo-noise sequence. And they will mention that the length of pseudo-noise segment per hop, which is equal to t is equal to 3. So just we'll read out this question. In a slow frequency hopping or MFSK system, the signal has the following parameters. So first one is number of bits per MFSK symbol, k is equal to 2. Note down. Next, number of MFSK tones, 2 power k is equal to 4. Next, length of pseudo-noise segment per hop, t is equal to 3 here. So total number of frequency hops we can generate 2 power t, which is equal to 8. So FC0 to FC7. We need to sketch the variation of frequency of the transmitted signal with time. Assume binary data sequence to be 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. This is the input binary sequence 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. And here you can see k is equal to 2. Means number of bits per MFSK. One symbol contains 2 bits of information. You need to remember this here. And one period of pseudo-noise sequence is 111, 1, 000, 1, 00, 11, 010. You take pen and paper, you sketch the variation of frequency of the transmitted signal with respect to the time. You do it, all of you. All of you do it. How do you allocate the slots? If you have any doubts, you can ask me. This is very important. Either they will ask that hopping to explain either slow or fast frequency hopping, or else they may ask problem like this problem they will ask in the exam. You must be able to sketch the variations of frequency of the transmitted signal with respect to the time. You can do it. This is very simple. All of you do this. Solve this. So coming Saturday, I will take quiz. You must be ready to answer for the quiz questions. The spread spectrum modulation, whatever I have taught, you have to go through it. I will share my notes also. The hopping frequency note tomorrow I will send you. You just go through the different hopping frequency and direct sequence spread spectrum modulation, how it occurs. So depending on direct sequence spread spectrum and frequency hopping techniques, I am going to ask questions, different questions. I may ask problems also. You must be able to answer it within 1 hour. So coming Saturday, I am going to conduct quiz on spread spectrum modulation. All of you get ready. So solve this problem, all of you. Solve this problem. So dear students, some of the students have not entered USN number. You have to enter your USN number. I am taking attendance. Otherwise, it will be marked absent if you have not entered your USN number. So total 43 students have attended this session, but only some of the students have entered your USN number. What about others? They have not entered still. It is required to update your attendance. So I'm going to stop the session. So next class I'm going to discuss about fast frequency hopping and we'll solve some problems.